The Clover Hill Varsity Cavaliers take on the LC Bird Skyhawks at home for a rainy night of football action. The Cavaliers received the opening kickoff but would make no other progress on their possession and punted away to the Skyhawks. And the Bird offense struck quick with an 88-yard touchdown run as Donovan Jefferson stunned the Clover Hill defense. The kick through the upright gave the Skyhawks a 7-point advantage just 2 minutes into the game. After the return, Clover Hill offense stood in good field position, but again were shut down. Jonathan Bottom stopped here on the run. Zach Burgholder punted away for the Cavaliers, and the Skyhawks made the return back to their own 45-yard line. The Bird offense now worked on driving their way down the field, first with the big run up the middle, and then with the dash around the left-hand side and down the sidelines that would carry the Skyhawks to the Cavaliers' 7-yard line. Coach Sean O'Hare called for a timeout and tried to calm down his defensive team, wondering what his team needed to stop the Skyhawk advance. It seemed to matter not. On the next play, Birds' Josh Castleberry drug Cavalier defenders into the end zone, adding 6 more points to the Bird lead. The Skyhawks then went for the 2-point attempt, taking it in to go up by 15 just 6 minutes into the contest. A slip on the wet surface may have been all that stopped Justin Carter from breaking open the big play on the return for the Cavaliers. The Clover Hill offense found little that worked against Bird's defense. Josh Bailey gets taken down behind the line of scrimmage. The defense was able to make a stand against Bird on their next drive, but penalties against the Skyhawks offense was doing the most damage. Bailey looked on, hoping the defense could hold this time, as they would, but that would be little relief to the Cavalier quarterback, who continued to get hammered while on the field. Bird once again stopped the Cavs in 4 downs, got the ball back and on the Skyhawk 25 after Burkholder's punt. A couple of plays later, and Josh Castleberry finds a big hole in the Clover Hill defensive line and blasts through and down the field for another Skyhawk touchdown. As the rain picked up the pace, the Skyhawks picked up the extra point. The Cavaliers had to be happy to see the first quarter come to a close and face the fact they were already down 22-0. On second down of the opening drive for the Cavaliers in the second quarter, Bailey, while under pressure, throws and gets picked off by the Skyhawks. This time, Bird made little movement down the field as the Cavalier defense stopped the run, and good pass coverage by Chris Smith and by Jonathan Bottom stopped Bird's air assault. The Cavaliers took over on downs, and Bailey took to the air with success, hitting Jared Chaplin. Then Bailey connects with Chris Smith, and adding to the drive was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Bird for roughing the passer. Justin Carter took the Cavaliers to the Skyhawk 20 after taking the pass from Bailey up the middle. Chaplin again makes the catch and drives the Clover Hill offense to inside the 5, with Bailey capping off the drive with a run around the outside and making the extra effort to get the Cavaliers on the scoreboard. Finally, the Cavalier faithful have something to celebrate, with Bailey connecting with Brandon Hayes on the 2-point conversion to give the Cavs 8 points. Stephen Drake made a strong stop on the Skyhawks' return man to set the pace for the Cavalier defense as they returned to the field. The Birds' offense again was able to advance against Clover Hill's defense. Chris Smith stopping the breakaway run here, a great open field tackle. The Skyhawks would not be denied, though, and a 30-yard run down the sideline would find another 6 points for Bird. Every bounce was going Bird's way, even the one off the field goal post on this extra point attempt. The Cavalier offense goes back on the field after the return to the 30, and Bailey hits Bottom with Chaplin diving on the fumble. Bailey then hits Justin Carter, who carried the ball into the Skyhawk territory as time winds down in the first half. Then Bailey goes to Brandon Hayes, who runs down to the Skyhawk 30 and also fumbles, but Joseph Swoop would cover for Clover Hill. Bailey will again go to Hayes, but comes up short of the first down and takes one last shot at the end zone, but the ball would fall incomplete, and the Cavs head to halftime trailing by 3 touchdowns. The Skyhawks opened the second half as they did the first and scored with an 83-yard kickoff return. The extra point attempt would be no good, but the Cavaliers were now down 35-8. The Cavaliers would strike back, though, as Bailey connects with Hunter Hoke. And then Bailey, making the run, picks up some yardage of his own. Brandon Hayes adds some yardage with a short reception, and then the run up the middle. Then Hayes would scoot around the right-hand side of the line and take it in for a Cavalier touchdown. Jennifer Johnson's shot at the extra point attempt never had a chance as the Skyhawks blasted through the Cavalier line and blocked the kick. On the first play of Bird's next possession, Donovan Jefferson took the ball 77 yards downfield to pick up his second touchdown of the evening. The extra point put the game at 42-14. The Clover Hill offense still had problems moving the ball on their next drive and then would have a bad snap on the punt, giving the Skyhawks good field position. As the game moved into the fourth quarter, the Skyhawks would score yet again. That would be the final score of the night. The two teams having a standoff for the final minutes, the clock winding down, and the Skyhawks take the win big over the Cavaliers. Skyhawks 49, Clover Hill 14. The Cavs head to Huguenot next.